motocross video, old film, look at old pictures. I mean, when you were 5, 6 years old and just getting started in motocross and supercross, did you have any idea who Gary Jones even was?
No, I didn't. But, you know, my grandpa's, I think, 72 now, and he's grown up racing. So I definitely can flip through all of his old pictures and see what they were riding and, you know, how it was back then, you know, at least when he was riding.
How about Ricky Carmichael? You were the generation earlier.
Yeah.
You would, I would think, at least have known the name.
Yeah, I for sure known the name, and I was, the older you get, the more you appreciate the history of the sport and how far it's come. There's no doubt about it. And Gary, that's one thing I wanted to ask you was, is the parity, I would say this year with, you know, 5 guys having the chance to win, a lot like it was, you know, in your day up until, I'd say, after the O'Mara, Bailey, Johnson, Stanton days? Would you say it's gotten back to that?
Well, basically, yeah. We had 5, 6 guys always on the top, right there on the podium with you every week, almost the same guys. You know, we had Bob Grossi, Billy Grossi, Jimmy Weiner, you know, Marty Tripes, Brad Lackey, those kind of guys. And every week we had the battle, every week.
Physically, it was billed. I remember, Gary, we used to write press releases about how it was the second most physically demanding sport in the world and how these were serious athletes. And I want to take that question and kind of turn it back to Ryan Villopoto. We talked about you having a new trainer, if you will, in Alden Baker, who was with Ricky Carmichael at the peak of his success, who was with James Stewart the year James finally got focused and won the Supercross championship. Now he's helping you. Helping you how? What does he bring to the table?
Well, like you said, work with Ricky, I think, for 8 years, James for 3, so I mean, for sure he's the guy that I knew once, you know, James got rid of him or they parted ways, that I needed in my corner regardless of what it was going to cost, because, you know, I had the skill, the speed, you know, I was lacking the fitness side of it, and definitely, you know, I'm not racing Ricky, but, you know, racing James, and he just had left, so he has insight on, you know, what he's doing, you know, where his weak points are, you know, where he's strong at and things like that, and I think Eldon brings all that to the table, puts it all into perspective, that it's you know, it's not really that hard to put the puzzle together. You know, with his expertise, it's pretty easy to do that.
So physical condition remains a huge part of the equation. Gary Jones, I have a final question for you. You've seen the greats through the years. You raced against the greats when the sport was done. Who do you think are the top 3 motocrossers of all time, in your opinion? If you were making a list, who'd make the cut?
Well, it'd have to be Ricky, right as there. You know, he's one of the most winningest guys. And then Ryan, right now, if he gets into shape like he's supposed to be saying he's doing, he could win any race he wants to ride, you know. And then you have Dungey that is in shape. That's what I think he is. That's why he wins most of his races, because he's one of the best shaped riders there is. And that's how I won most of my races, because I was in the best shape. I was in better shape than anybody there, and that's how I won.
It was important 40 years ago. It's just as important today. Take the lesson from that, Ryan Villopoto. Congratulations, young man, on that terrific championship. Gary, thanks so much for sharing a bit of history for us. And Ricky Carmichael, a treat to have you here. Greatest of all time, making for a kind of a fun 2-wheeled anniversary here on Wind Tunnel. We're going to take a commercial break, and a quick reminder that for Wind Tunnel Extra tonight, RC's going to stick around at least for a few minutes, take a couple of phone calls, have some more fun. That starts right after the TV show.